What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Arena of Valor esports video, and of course today we are going to be continuing the APL 2020 with the second semi-final that will determine who will be facing off in the final against, of course, if you haven't watched the other series so far, the first semi-final, I would highly encourage you to do so. And yeah, we have BRU being banned instantly by HKA here and Zip as well. Meanwhile, BRU ends up banning Malok and Florentino. Three of these bans are super standard. Malok is kind of a special one. Usually we see a Richter in that first ban rotation as well. However, of course, if he is not banned, instant pickup by HKA. Very safe solo laner. I fully expect an Omen to counterpick it because, as I told you guys numerous times, that is the only hero that can face off against this Richter in this meta right now. And yeah, we have an arrow hover, but I don't think this will go through. There we go, there's the Omen being hovered. Switch to a Lubu, however. Switch to a Lubu. Lubu can also fight against Richter pretty well, not as well as an Omen can, but he can definitely go up against him. And we have a Lubu and a Lumber. Very interesting. They hovered Kriknak, but they decided to go for Lumber instead. Now, of course, this is kind of weird because usually you see Kriknak as that top tier support pick, and Lumber is something that you pick if you... it's just one of those safe picks. It's definitely a very strong support, but most people don't see him as one of the best supports. So that is very interesting that BRU is re-evaluating their support tier list possibly here, picking him up in the first game. And now we have Laville, we have Capheny still up. These marksmen are so incredibly strong. I definitely expect at least one of them to be picked up here by HKA, and we have a Kriknak, it seems like, to accompany it. Of course, Kriknak and Laville are such a strong combo. We've seen it throughout the whole tournament. Kriknak pulls everyone together and shreds their armor and magic resistance with that, and Laville just shoots everyone and they're all in one place, so the triple auto attack will easily hit them. And yeah, it is just absolutely crazy. And it seems like we will see a Capheny being picked here by BRU, and it does get locked in. So we have the classic, the two most broken marksmen, lane marksmen at least in the game. Of course, Elandur is also on their level. However, he is the jungle marksman. And yeah, we have a Kriknak being banned out and a Marja on the other side. So a lot of mid lane bans coming out here. Both teams not having yet picked a mid laner. Pain ban as well there, which of course can go jungle and mid. Both teams also didn't pick a jungler yet, so that's going to be interesting what they end up getting here. We might see another mid lane ban here by HKA. We might also see a jungle ban. They're hovering Vera, but that will definitely not happen, guys. We all know that. And yeah, I want to see what Rourke possibly. Potential Rourke ban here. Of course, Rourke is very good against Kriknak. A very nice counter. So banning away that is definitely a pretty good option, I would say. I fully expect a mid laner to be picked here by BRU's side, because a lot of mid laners are banned. And yeah, Raz is still up, Ignis is still up. These are the possible heroes that I could be imagining, because they are of course the next best tier after the D-Rock, and D-Rock is of course already banned. So I expect something like that to come out. We might also see a jungler. Maybe they want to deny the enemy's jungle pick. We'll see what BRU decides to do here. We already see that Capheny is gonna be that hard carry on the BRU's roster. Of course, 007X playing her. We might also see Capheny in the jungle. That is also possible, but the Raz gets locked in the end. And now Ignis is still up. However, Ignis, Ignis is fine against the enemy team. He gets wrecked a little bit by Capheny, but other than that, he's pretty good against Lubu, he's pretty good against Lumber. Raz also wrecks him a little bit, but not insanely hard, so Ignis can definitely be picked here. And again, Ignis is just one of the strongest mages, and also Kriknak is just a nice combo again with that Ignis. And we see Kriknak being hovered right now, in that jungle position for HKA. Definitely a very nice pickup. He can one-shot Lubu before he can lifesteal. He can one-shot Lumber. He can one-shot Capheny. Or he can do a ton of damage to Lumber, right? And the only one who counters Kriknak and he gets locked in is that Raz. And we actually see the switch to Liliana. Now, Liliana is much weaker than Ignis, I would say, especially for pro play. However, what Liliana brings with it is just extreme safety. So she will easily survive these fights. She will easily survive any engage onto her. By that Raz, by that Lubu, and potentially BRU will pick up a jungle assassin here. We might also see a double marksman comp. Fennec is still up, Elandor is still up as well. And yeah, it seems like a Volkath is being hovered here. First one on, or F1 on Volkath will be very interesting to see how he will play this game. Yes, it does get locked in. And we seem to have a very interesting comps by both teams. Pretty standard heroes. And the interesting thing is that so far we've seen a lot of these teams not picking a lot of very broken heroes in that first game, right? Yeah, not picking a lot of broken heroes in that first game because they wanted to conserve them for game 2, game 3, game 4. There's so many games in this best of 7, right? And again, with the global pick ban system, you really need to be careful because let's imagine BRU picked up, they have the Raz. Let's imagine they picked up a Elandor jungle here, right? And an Omen instead of Lubu. Then they would have Omen, Elandor, Raz, and Capheny that are all top tier heroes, right? And let's imagine they also picked up Kriknak, 5 top tier heroes. If they lose that game, it is GG, you know? It is GG for the rest of the series. They already blew their whole load. Meanwhile, HKA is chilling, you know? They didn't pick that many. But that's why BRU, of course, went back a little bit, okay? They picked that Capheny, they picked that Raz, and everything else are good heroes, but not as top tier as like a Richter, Florentino. And while I was saying that, Capheny invades the enemy red buff, and that is a huge advantage for BRU now. Not only do they get an early red buff onto this 007X Capheny, which is, by the way, an insane player on Capheny, one of the best marksmen in this tournament, I would say, along with 0322. These two definitely my 2 favorites to watch. Of course, Bang is a jungle marksman, but I'm just talking about the Abyssal Dragon marksman. And we have, of course, HKA getting that rep buff stolen from Shaolin, from the jungler. And he is their main player, like he is their main carry. We oftentimes see just Shaolin when they win. And look at this, man. Right out, as I was saying, 007X has a 100% win rate with Capheny in this whole tournament, which is crazy. It's only 5 games, but still, it is absolutely crazy. And because it's only 5 games, you already know that it gets banned very often against him. Now, again, Shaolin is their main player of HK. He is their main carry. And him getting that red buff stolen just puts him behind already. If you guys think about the other games that I reviewed of HKA, they always had that Shaolin on like 2k gold ahead of the enemy jungler, Quillen just power farming. He was the first one who succeeded on that Quillen pick actually in this tournament. And yeah, we'll see how BRU plays this. So far, they're abusing their team comp very well because they have that range of Raz, Poke, and they have the range of Capheny. So they're recognizing this and playing all around that bot lane so far. You can see they just keep roaming bot and keep pressuring this tower. They want to get this tower as fast as possible. And now HKA has to watch out because their Liliana isn't there. And yeah, they are able to clear another wave. Good job by them. HKA is playing this very safe so far. Liliana scouts out the enemies and is gonna easily get away. Doesn't even get poked. She is completely chilling there. HKA Shaolin is comfy in his jungle farming right now. Pokes that Lumber. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Kriknak can poke Lumber so hard, but now we have Volkath in the bot lane as well. And they're pressuring them hard. Volkath uses his ult. Lumber uses his ult. Capheny burns down the tower, and now just everyone on HKA is just dropping their health bars, depleting, and we have a 2-0 coming out for the Volkath actually. Volkath gets both these kills. Of course, ideally you want to see them on Capheny, but still, that you take those, you get the tower, the dragon, and 2 kills. huge swing in the favor of Buriram. And we see the side laners fighting against each other, the solo laners of course. Not much happening though. We have a Lubu against a Richter, but you can see Richter kind of wins this, but Lubu can just lifesteal everything back up. So it is, Lubu is always on the back foot, I believe, if Richter plays it well, but yeah, both are chilling, you know, no one's gonna die. And we have Kriknak ganking top. Lubu is easily able to escape, he still has that flicker available as well. I really don't like ganking Lubu with a flicker, because if Lubu is smart, he doesn't use his S1 to fight. Like, he doesn't really fight too much in lane unless he sees the enemy jungler on the other side of the map, especially if it's a Nakrov or, and we can see the bottom right, while they are showing the replay, a fight is going on once again, and Summer actually gets taken down. However, Outcast is super low HP, and I think they will get this. Ooh, F1 gets the Kriknak on the back of that, but it ends up being a 2-for-2. So an even trade here, despite Buriram just diving so hard right there. Overdove a little bit, and they lose one more member after, of course, that Lubu dropped at the start. And we have a 2-4. Almost, it's actually a 1.5k gold lead in the favor of Buriram United Esports though. So again, Buriram is definitely winning this game so far. And let's discuss the late game of these team compositions. While Liliana is a powerhouse late game, Kriknak is really incredibly strong late game. So is Lumber though. And again, Laville and Capheny, they're very comparable. Okay, it depends on how the team fight is set up. But honestly, Capheny most of the time has an easier time team fighting. She has that AoE laser, and she has more range than Laville. Laville has to get in a little bit closer, so it's a little bit harder for him to fight. It's a little bit easier for him to get caught out because of his range. Of course, he has that S2, so Capheny can get blown up if she gets caught by that Kriknak, by that Richter, by that Liliana, right? But if she plays safe, she has more range and can out DPS Laville in most fights, I would say. So we will see how this goes. Of course, Raz is also super strong late game with that poke coming in. If Buriram plays this safe and just plays at their range that they're best at, which is very far range with that Raz and Capheny, and just have Lumber protecting them. And by the way, very nice tech by Lumber, I really love it. Purify coming out by him, because what this is going to do is he's going to stand in front of his Capheny and absorb the Laville ult, and if they try to engage onto him, he just purifies and uses his ult and completely destroys the enemies. So this is just such a good draft, and just such a good game plan coming out of Buriram here. They exactly know what they want to do. They exactly drafted perfectly for this, and yeah, it seems like it's just absolutely crazy right now. Huge Capheny ult coming out. Lumber gets taken out, but so many low HP targets. And look at this Capheny just rolling into that enemy between two towers, completely destroying the enemy team. And again though, it becomes a 3-for-3 here, okay? It becomes a 3-for-3 because Buriram just overdove the enemies. And HKA is definitely playing so well here, returning the aggression very well onto Buriram's roster here whenever they overextend. So very fun game to watch so far. Huge team fights coming out, just very nice mechanics by everyone being displayed. And you can see this team fight again. And while I'm saying that, Liliana gets taken out in that top lane, overextends and gets caught. Tries to kill that Capheny, but doesn't succeed, and now we have a very fed Capheny. She survived with like 10 HP, you saw it right there. Yeah, huge game so far, man. Really fun to watch. These previous games, Mad versus Flash Wolves, some of them were kind of sleepers, some huge stomps, man. That Raz game, a little bit disappointing, but man, this is already delivering huge. This is really fun to watch, and yeah, we'll see if this continues. I hope this series will continue like that. Capheny gets caught right as I'm saying that though. She loses her kill streak, the 3 kill streak. And while I'm saying that though, Summer just gets a solo kill onto this Kriknak. And now Volkath is going deep here as well, but all the while a top lane teamfight breaks out and Raz gets taken down as well on the other side of the map. This Richter is gonna drop to that max range laser there. So just everyone fighting on all fronts, and this Liliana just almost dies. The Capheny damage is just ridiculous, guys. I hope she gets a huge nerf, man. That hero is just so ridiculous. I love you as well, man. These heroes are just really easy to play. It's all about auto attacks, and auto attacking in Arena of Valor compared to other MOBAs where you have to kite with the mouse, right, on PC, it is much easier. You just walk and shoot, you know, on mobile MOBAs. So having these heroes be so strong really feels a little bit ridiculous sometimes. Like, meanwhile, you have stuff like Raz where you have so many different mechanics. You have to hit that S2. If you don't hit a couple of them in a row, you lose all your energy and you're done for the rest of the fight. It's like, it's such hard heroes to play, or Superman, super difficult. But then we have Capheny and it's just so easy. And yeah, we have Lumber just dropping instantly. Raz, NuNu beautifully turning that teamfight around though on his Raz. And look at the Volkath just completely demolishing everyone. They have to all flicker away from him. Kriknak gets away though. And now this Capheny ends up dropping to Liliana, but Liliana ended up overextending for it, so she drops as well. So I would say this is worth, because the wave clear dying means a free tower. Whenever your wave clear dies, which is the Liliana in this case, Laville has some too, but he was in the base. And yeah, if that happens, that is a free tower most of the time. And look at this Lumber solo pushing this top lane tower. That is hilarious. He gets half that tower. Very well played support player macro. Usually support players don't have it in their blood to check for minion waves pushing onto towers and try to push down a tower by themselves. That is usually a solo laner's job or a jungler's job, like a Nakrov or something that split pushes. So him identifying that is very cute, honestly, very nice. And yeah, we'll see how this turns out. Laville just completing his Bow of Slaughter. Capheny already had hers. I'm very glad Capheny is a cute girl, because I would be even more tilted losing to imagine Capheny was like a super brawly male hero and just completely destroys you with only auto attacks running you down. You would feel even worse, you know? You would feel even worse. At least Laville is a cute boy. I know some of you guys are into that, so I guess you guys aren't too tilted either being beaten by Laville. But honestly, Laville, I would say, is not as bad as Capheny. People ban Laville, but I don't know, man. The ult is annoying, but I feel like he is just, like, at least he can't walk and shoot at the same time, guys. How ridiculous is that? Capheny is just fundamentally broken. That mechanic is just so ridiculously strong on a marksman. Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's just so ridiculously strong. It feels much worse to play against Capheny, in my opinion at least, than to play against Laville. But yeah, I digress. We should get back to this game. 4,000 gold advantage for BRU right now. They are definitely in a very commanding lead right now. They're definitely, yeah, just really happy with how this game is progressing. And we'll see if they can get this bot lane tower, because currently everyone is clearing that Drake in that top lane. And it seems like Capheny will easily get this tier 2 tower here. Loops around the jungle even there, gets it very simply with a couple auto attacks, and now this mid lane tower is getting poked. Capheny is not able to get into range to poke it down though, so she instead goes for a bot lane tower, gets almost half of it, which is huge. Honestly, that is so helpful for that next push where you just always get a couple auto attacks, and at some point that tower is down. At some point all 3 towers is down, so at some point you force HKA to engage onto you, and of course the way the game is right now, the gold lead, they cannot win that fight at all. And you can see it here. Volkath is going incredibly deep here, just completely destroys the enemies. Richter is trying his best here. Now Lubu is going super deep, gets taken out, I believe. Still a teamfight victory. Only Lubu dying on the side of BRU. I think they got 2 kills, but both used Endless Cycle, and they almost got that mid lane tower. They couldn't get it completely, which is sad for them. That would have, of course, been ideal, and they're trying to get it now, but I don't think Capheny can get in there. They have to retreat here. It is a 5v5. Lubu used his endless cycle, and it's already back into the fray there. You can see Raz is just pushing out that top lane, trying to poke. Now again, a Capheny ult just coming in, zoning the enemies away from that tower. However, of course, while she's ulting, she can't auto-attack the tower. So yeah, not much that can be done there to take that tower down. And now you can see, guys, the Slayer is spawning in 15 seconds. BRU will get this, and at that point it is going to be very difficult for HKA. And take a look at this Volkath build. I will make a video about that. Neil was using the same build. This seems to be the meta Volkath build in pro play, where they go Soul Reaver, Rank Breaker into Death Sickle instantly. And what that does is, you know how you go in as Volkath, and then look, he's ulting now, and sometimes you get taken out before you can ult again. And then you just waste everything and you just die very sadly. But if you have that Death Sickle, you get a little bit more of a window there to do that. And it just takes the enemies by surprise, and it just works really well. A lot of these players, we've seen it work very well in a lot of these fights for that Volkath in previous games. So we'll see if it will work this well too. I believe his Death Sickle already got popped last teamfight, but I'm not sure. We have Richter just completely overextending, gets taken down, and now that Kriknak is just making a huge play, gets the Volkath after his Death Sickle as well, but gets taken down. And now we just have everyone burning down on this HKA roster, and it seems like this is just everyone dropping. It is only 2 members of HKA alive right now. Blavil had to use his endless cycle. I believe Kriknak survived and got away with his life, but 3 people, seems like Shaolin doesn't have his endless cycle available, and the others 2, of course, Holy Thunder and Curse of Death, on the other 2 members, no endless cycle available. I think this is game over. I think this is game over right now, because they can just kill this Kriknak, they can just end the game. Oh, Richter respawned right there, and they have to retreat, of course. Wasn't quite paying attention to the respawn timers there, but yeah, we have potentially an Enraged Abyssal Dragon being taken down. It is still a 5v4 in the favor of BRU United Esports, and it seems like HKA is taking the handshake here and just going for that Slayer, which is honestly very good for them, because what this does is they have that Drake available. If BRU got that Drake and they got the Enraged Abyssal Dragon, then they could just poke down these towers and just disengage any teamfight with that Lumber ult and his Purify. However, because HKA got this Slayer now, they got the Drake, they can juice their minions. BRU cannot push as hard as they could with that Drake, and they also have that Abyssal Dragon, the Enraged Abyssal Dragon buff. However, I'm not sure if they're at a point where they can dive these towers already, dive this HKA roster and win the fight. So I'm not sure how this will progress, because under the tower, I think HKA is very happy fighting this BRU roster here. Like we've seen in that previous fight, it worked quite well for them. They still lost the fight, but it worked, they pushed the enemies away. So we'll see. Volkath decides to dive anyway, and they secure the tower. Seems like HKA is still scared here to counter engage. And that just means only 1 tower remaining for the side of HKA. Definitely, BRU is outplaying HKA in the draft, in the early game, mid game, and late game currently as well. They seem like the better team right here. I really didn't expect this. I honestly thought HKA would be the better team. Just by comparing their games so far, I feel like BRU didn't look too clean against Bazaar. Bazaar really didn't have their best games, and HKA still kind of was struggling. BRU was still kind of struggling. Meanwhile, HKA just completely rolled over SGP for most of those games. So again, ooh, nice Kriknak counter engage here, and we have just Volkath going super deep right now, and he does so much damage. Oh, this Volkath, man, and he's unkillable. He's completely unkillable. By the way, what you pair this Death Sickle build up, and this is the game over, what you pair this Death Sickle build up is with increased healing enchantment. I will definitely showcase this Volkath build, Seems very exciting. And yeah, very enjoyable game here. Lots of action coming in by both teams. We'll see who gets that MVP awarded here. I believe, for me, the MVP was probably Capheny. She probably did by far the most damage there. Yeah, she gets the MVP, 8, 2, and 13. Very well played. 2 deaths, but it's all good. That one death in the top lane was a blunder, but that second death, they secured 2 kills because of it. So in that mid lane there, so it was worth it. We'll see the damage numbers here. I would say 35% at least from the side of Capheny here, but we'll see if I'm right. 40%, crazy damage output. Of course, F1 played amazingly well on this Volkath as well. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. We will of course continue this series, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Enable those notifications to become a chat, okay? Because notification gang is chat gang, okay? What can I say, boys? It works. I'm telling you, boys, if you want some girls, you already know, press that bell, because it's gonna ring the bells in your brain. I don't know where I'm going with this, okay? Just please do it. Please do it, man. It's free. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like as well, and I will see you guys the next time. Peace out, boys. Bye-bye.